Depending on the software, there's usually going to be rules set up per state because every state's going to have different rules. But generally, California and I think majority of the other states are going to have child support garnishments be priority. And then it's going to be tax garnishments, alimony, and spousal support, and then usually credit garnishments at the end. So usually creditor garnishments are going to be the very last priority. Child support, taxes, and alimony and spousal support are going to be before those. And depending on the states and the software that you have, usually they update every year. They do year-end maintenance for the system, and they update those rules based on the states. And sometimes some states have different rules around the percentage that they can take. As long as it's saving 40% or 45% in some states, then you can take at half of that net pay that the employee is getting to those child support garnishments. Usually the calculations of it can be funky. If it's just one wage garnishment, it's pretty easy to determine. But if you have more than one, then you have to start taking into consideration the priority of how much you're going to pay on one and then how much you're going to pay on the other, and make sure you're still leaving the employee minimum wage essentially to take home. That can become cumbersome if the system isn't doing it for you. And then also you have to stay updated on compliance and laws when those garnishment rules change. If you're in a software, it's usually going to do it for you, or it'll be a reminder for you to do it. But if you're doing it in-house on paper and not really through a system, they can get hard to track, and which agencies they go to, depending on what type of garnishment you have. Sometimes you have to put specific memos in that check field box to make sure it gets cashed and goes to the right authority. So there's little nuances here and there that can make handling wage garnishments difficult if you don't have the proper payroll system to track it. When you start outsourcing payroll, if you go with the PEO for one, your federal ID is now going to trigger on those employees who may have been under a different employer. Usually when we bring on a new client, we contact the authorities for the wage garnishments that they have, and we let them know, hey, this client has joined in a PEO relationship. And then moving forward, they know to send any and all garnishments straight to us. It kind of limits the time from it going to the old employer and then the employer sending to us. We like to jump right in at the beginning of implementation and contact those authorities to let them know that this client has now entered into an arrangement with us, and then it kind of streamlines the process of getting new and updated garnishments sent to us directly. We get them implemented in the system, get them sent out to the employees and the clients, so everybody's on the same page as far as when those deductions will start. You have either 10 or 15 days to implement it from the time that you get it. Usually what's going to happen is you're going to fill out that form that comes in, make sure all the employees' information is up to date, because once it gets to the employer, it means that the agency hasn't been successful in contacting the employee. They've sent multiple notices to their address, nobody's responding, so they send a notice to us and they say, hey, you have this employee, can you confirm their telephone, address, how much they're making, and let them know that, in 10 days, 15 days, 25% of their disposable income, which would be their net, is going to start being paid. Once the employer gets those garnishments, they fill it out, they send it back to the authority, and they give it to the employees. If the employees receive the garnishment and they're not happy with it, they have to call the agency directly to appeal or change that amount. Once a garnishment has reached an employer, there's really nothing that we can do on an employer level to stop it. That employee must take action and call those agencies directly to set up a payment plan or change the amount due. So you really want to make sure that if you're getting these notices in the mail as an employee, that you are responding, you're contacting the agencies to put something in place, because once it gets to the employer, it's really their last stop. Like, they've tried everything to get these funds and you're not communicating, you're not responsive. So now we're taking it directly from your paycheck.